Hi Aries, welcome back to my channel. This will be some general messages for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the month of February. If you're not familiar with the way I do things, Aries, I do provide an extended version, the link to which will be available below in the show more section. I do lay out 10 more cards in that extended version to have a look at some more additional messages. So you're more than welcome to join me there if the general resonates. Otherwise, let's jump into it and see what comes up for you. I wanted to say thank you everyone for liking, sharing and subscribing. It really does mean a lot. So thank you so much for doing that. Let's jump into it and see what comes up. Aries, okay. February. Okay, let's start off with the Five of Pentacles. Now, the Five of Pentacles can indicate an energy or perhaps an earth sign here. You did have a Virgo, so it can be a Taurus or Capricorn. Someone who's feeling a little bit depleted or deprived or underwhelmed. Sometimes the Five of Pentacles can also indicate a precarious situation that we find ourselves in. Now, most obviously, it can point to destitution or not being in a comfortable financial position. It can also be in regards to health or needing help in some way here, okay, Aries? So some of you might come across someone who's going to reach out and ask for your help, or there might be a situation here where you feel like you are deprived. You might feel like you're shut out, you're shut off from a person, you're shut off from an opportunity. Or there may even be a situation where you feel like you've been foolish, or you can't believe you didn't notice this, or you can't believe you didn't see something this whole time. Now, the reason I say this is because the Fool card sits below the Five of Pentacles. And the Fool card can indicate someone who feels foolish, someone who feels naive or gullible. So some of you might be in a situation, perhaps this is romantically, could even be in the career setting. It could even be with a friend, okay, someone you thought had intentions, certain intentions for you. And you might, or even a family member, and you might discover something here that might not sit the best with you, might not, sit at the best place here in the month of February. So for some of you, it can be that you've given a lot, and when it finally comes for this other person to give you something in return, they don't return the favor, hence you feeling in a somewhat foolish position here. It can also indicate you potentially feeling underwhelmed about something and moving on. Okay, the Fool does not hesitate to move on, to seek new paths, new direction, new horizons, and new connections as well. Okay. Moving on, you have the Queen of Wands, which is Leo energy. Now, it could be a destined Leo coming in around you. If it's not the case, the Queen of Wands is highly sexual and high-spirited. She can rule things that are adventuristic, but she's also very bold and daring, so she pushes the boundaries. So there might be a fire sign that's pushing the boundaries with you this month. It could be that you're pushing the boundaries. You're pioneering something, okay? Potentially starting something new, grabbing the bull by the horns, having a surge of motivation behind you, maybe in career, maybe in a relationship. But it's also open-mindedness, and that's a very admirable trait of the Queen of Wands. She's very open-minded to people's opinions, to people's thoughts, to ideas, things that people wouldn't normally consider. She considers them. So it's all about you coming out of your comfort zone, which you don't hesitate in doing here, Aries. But it could be Leo energy. It could also be something about a Leo, a boss position, management positions, leadership opportunities, which is very powerful, but it's all about initiative, okay? It's very much about initiative and being confident in your decision and owning it, Aries, whatever that decision is and whatever that decision is going to lead you to. But it could be a focus or an emphasis on spirituality and health as well, especially if you've been very anxious or tied up in your mind, really in your mind this month here, Aries, with the Hermit. There's going to come a time, an opportunistic time for you to get out of your head and be active and do what it is that you need to do to move forward, to proceed, to get things going, etc. You also have Piscean energy. Now, there's a lot of different signs which do symbolize a lot of different energies around you this month. The Page of Cups is Piscean energy. It's a very intuitive energy. It's very big on empathy, emotional sensitivity, feelings, and also creativity and dreams. So things like that might be heightened for you this month, Aries, and you might even have a Piscean coming in. Now, the Page of Cups is quite dual and a little bit unrealistic. I sense that he's living in a little bit of a fantasy land because you can see him conversing with the fish, okay? Whether or not the fish can converse is subject to conjecture. What I'm seeing here, though, is that the Page of Cups seems to be communicating quite effectively with this fish. And what this says to me is there might be moments throughout the month, or there might be a period, a circumstance, some sort of connection that almost feels dreamlike. It might even be that you receive a lot of intuitive messages this month. It might be that a lot of emotional consideration and empathy is required from you to someone else. Maybe this is a romantic connection. Maybe this is in a collaborative or creative environment. But that's what that Page of Cups can represent, especially if it's anything to do with unions or relationships, because it's sitting above the Justice card. This is the sign of Libra. Libra rules unions, whether legal, platonic, romantic, okay? But the Page of Cups is also very dual, unpredictable, and changes his mind, his emotions, his behavior quite quickly. So you might see a lot of duality. You might feel this duality. You might be hesitating about someone. You might be weighing up the pros and cons of being with the person. But ultimately, a decision will need to be deliberated, but you'll definitely see those highs and lows before that outcome is projected, perhaps towards the end of Feb. Now, moving on, you have that Fool, which is Aries energy, okay? New beginnings, new starts, travel plans, foreign lovers, foreign connections, international connections, opportunities to come into new environments, explore new social settings, new venues, get back in touch with nature. The Fool is really impulsive, okay? But it's also very admirable that he's able to be this way. And I always feel it's a good sign when your own sign comes up in your reading, and in this case you've come up as the Fool here, Aries. Now, for some of you, it could mean that you're placed in a position where you will feel humiliated, will feel like you didn't see something when it was staring right at you, when it was right under your nose, when it was happening all along, okay? Whatever it is that's happening around you. For others, it's someone else that's close by that's putting themselves in that sort of situation, and you're there to give them inspiration or consolation or advice, okay? That is what you're there for this month. And you will see that people will seek your assistance in some way, shape, or form, monetarily, emotionally, physically. There's someone here that might cry out to you in help, okay, in assistance. It could even be a partner. But the Fool is also make or break, Aries, and I feel like this very much relates to you as a sign. I feel like you've got that ability to either pursue something or to cut it off when you need to. So you really have that headstrongness about you. And I feel like this month you're really going to see that amplified in whatever sort of situation that's happening around you. But it could definitely refer to, if there's like immigration things or foreign lovers or trips that you're planning, there could be some delays or a little bit of back and forth, especially delays because of finances or resources or the physical realm. So things that are sort of out of your reach, I suppose, may impact on these delays for those of you that have those sorts of connections and or circumstances. But I'm really dwelling towards an issue here that's going to come up, and I feel like it's going to be an issue that's worth analyzing or worth assessing. The Hermit is here, and he's deeply analytical. He represents the sign of Virgo, which is known for their intellectual nature, their ability to compartmentalize, their psychological strength, and their mental agility and prowess. So because that's coming up with the Hermit card, there could be a Virgo around you, or there could be a lot of overthinking happening, okay? Virgos are notorious for overthinking. They're notorious for being self-critical or self-sabotaging because of their presumptuous nature. Jumping to conclusions this month? Maybe, Aries. Maybe you, maybe someone you're connected to. But this is happening. But I want to remind some of you, the Fool and the Hermit are autonomous figures. They prefer to be on their own. They need to journey their own path. They've got their own things they want to achieve and have and do. And it could be that you need to pull away this month. It could be that someone is pulling away from you. Or it could even be independent, self-governing businesses, startups, freelancing work that you might be starting in Feb. If that's not the case, some of you might be breaking up and finding independence. You might be moving out of the family home. You might be breaking up with a partner. You might be moving away from the company, the industry, the organization you're working for, and trying something more autonomous, or even getting a creative role where you really are your own boss, set your own hours, delegate your own tasks, etc. So there's an entrepreneurship energy to the Hermit, okay? Much like the Fool, much like the Magician. They're really a master of their own craft. But I feel like with the Hermit, there definitely is something you need to shine light on. He's literally shining his lantern onto the Fool, okay? And the Sun illuminates our path. The Sun can also be self-growth and the self, okay, the inner child. So I feel like there is a spiritual or moral lesson to be learnt from whatever situation might be happening or is happening around you in February. Because you do have the Justice card as well, and this possibly leads me to believe there's some sort of decision or outcome that needs to be made. The Justice card can also be contract, so some of you might be receiving a new contract, or some sort of documents, legalities, okay, business legalities, settlements, legal divorces, signing of leases, signing of deeds, assets, properties, handovers, appraisals, anything connected with documents, government officials, any sort of legal things, legalities could be coming up in this month, but definitely something to do about an outcome or a decision, okay? I feel like that's very pivotal for you this month, is to make some sort of decision about a union, a partnership, or a co-investing opportunity. But the Justice card can also be karma, okay? He personifies the notion of karma here, whether this is good karma, whether this is bad karma. It's coming in around you this month, Aries, and it might impact your month, especially with unions. Like I said, it's a card of unionship. But Libran energy favors equality. And I feel like if there are things that are one-sided or things that you feel foolish of, or if there's a situation where someone ends up being the foolish one, then you know, it could change a lot. It could really draw a line in the sand for you, okay? But there's something about equality being important, reciprocity, giving back, okay? Or returning the favor, or doing something for someone and then not having that same thing done for you or to you. So there could be lack, and I say lack because you have the 5. And it's the decision that you need to make. The Fool, he can jump off. He's not looking where he's going. He can lead his own path to self-destruction. The power is in his hands here, at least in his course of actions. So I feel like your behavior or your actions are going to be very important or very pivotal for you this month. I will leave your reading at that though, Aries, so thank you again for watching and connecting. I really do hope this reading has been helpful for you. If you'd like to join me for the extended version, you're more than welcome to do so. You will find the link to that below in the show more section. Otherwise, thank you again for all your viewership, your likes, your shares, your subscribes, Aries. I really do appreciate it. It's been fantastic, and I hope to continue to see you on my channel and enjoy these videos.